Hello. I hope you can hear me. It's all new, a whole new setup here. I have no idea what's going on really, because it's been a harrowing day and a half since we were last together. I didn't know if we should actually do the stream today or not, because of some of these things that are going on that I'm trying to get fixed. But I thought, well, we'll try it, and if it doesn't go well, we can call it a test stream. And so we started the stream, and 10 minutes later, it all barfed. And everything looks good here locally. I think that was a Twitch problem. And then as we're restarting, we have a new friend. Cosmic Quishy Quishy. Already attacking us, and it's only 9:12 in the morning. And by the way, this is Boles TV, BOLES.TV. I'm David Boles. And we are usually here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Unless Microsoft connives against us. Which is the whole point of our friend, our new friend, who posted a very interesting comment. Which I'm trying to pin, but it won't let me. Our friend said, who cares about Windows in the year of the Linux desktop? How's it going? Hello? Sorry. We were trying to restart everything and make sure everything was working and we weren't melting. And we weren't melting. And all of your criticism about Linux and Windows is all true. And I'm going to tell you the story of what happened. But I don't know anything about Linux. But I do know now a lot about Windows 11. And my God, everybody hates it. I have not found one person in a day and a half, or in the 2 weeks since I installed Windows 11 on my new machine. I have not found one person who has anything nice to say about Windows 11. And I guess that's my fault, because they said, do you want Windows 11? And I said, okay. It's the newest thing out there. It's been there for 4 months. What could go wrong? Everything goes wrong. I should have just stuck with Windows 10. But I thought it's the newest. It's been battle tested. Microsoft wouldn't release anything that didn't work, right? So, the main problem we've been having with Windows 11 is audio. And everybody that I've spoken to, regular people, professional people, people in the industry said, oh no audio works with Windows 11. Which is true. It has been a 2-day course of smashing your head against virtual walls and real walls. And the great part is I had people who were helping me, and they helped me figure things out. So, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday, which I guess is 2 days ago, we were doing our stream, as we have for 4 months. And we moved everything over to Windows 11, and then we tried to install things, and they broke, and we had to reinstall Windows 11 and start everything from scratch. And then in the stream 2 days ago, our lovely friend Dora said, well, I can't hear you. And I said, what do you mean? And she said, you're scratchy. It sounds like, you're muffled. So I stopped, and I have a TV here, so I turned up the TV. And I thought, oh my God, you can't hear anything I'm saying. Something's happened. And I didn't do anything. Nothing happened. I didn't update anything. It's just the day. I'm reliving it. So I thought, okay, so I ended the stream a little early because there was no reason to continue on with all these wonderful things I was sharing. Because you couldn't hear me. You could see me, the stream was okay. And we had done testing over the weekend with our new camera setup. And the beautiful and wondrous Jana Marie had a great show on Saturday, Sunday at 11. crisp, beautiful. We had to swap from the Logitech camera to an Elgato camera because the Logitech camera software is not functional under Windows 11, but Elgato is. And so we figured it out. Or so I thought. And then we go live because Jenna is deaf and she signs in ASL and we don't have audio on the weekends. It's just her, and she types and texts and she signs in ASL. So if you know ASL, you come and you join. And if you don't know ASL, you won't be left out because it's a conversation that she types and it's text. So Stream Chat is perfect for a deaf streamer because you can communicate with your people. So then Monday rolls around and we're ready to go live, and then I thought, had okay audio, and we didn't. We really didn't have audio. I mean, I was there, I was doing the show, but you couldn't hear me. And then the music didn't want to play, So I'm trying to figure out now, well, what am I going to do with this problem with not being able to hear me? And I had been using the same audio setup on my Mac for, I think, 17 years. Let me show you something. Oh, we're getting a stream warning. We're getting laggy. This does not make me happy. But this is part of the test because we had to reset and reinstall everything, so there might be something going on that we don't like. Hey, there's my new friend. My new Linux friend. Thank you for being here. Yeah, it's getting a little choppy. I don't know. Look. Our CPU is 1% use. Our frames per second are very strong. 60. We have not lost one frame. And our upload is very strong at 6K. So, because we got thrown off of Twitch, I'm not blaming Twitch, but I'm saying right now the problem is not here that I can see, but that doesn't mean anything. 2 days ago, the problem was all here. Okay, yes, getting choppy, my pleasure. Yeah, it's pretty good overall. Thank you so much. And I appreciate you being here, my new friend, because you can help me figure this out. If the music's too loud, if the background music's too soft. Because as I will get to, I have no idea what's going on because I really can't hear what's happening. But let's don't rush the misery. We have 2 days of misery to share first. You think everything is actually perfect. Well, now you've made my day, except for the Linux comment. That hurt my feelings. Even though you're right. Love the guitars in the background. Thank you so much. I would love to play them, but what can you play on the internet that's not going to get you muted on Twitch or get you a DMCA violation on YouTube? You can play scales, you can play notes, you can play harmonics, but other than that, there is not a lot to do. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you being here with us. And it's nice to have a conversation with you. I feel like I'm getting sane. And I love your emotes. Those are so cute. And then we get thrown off by Twitch on our first day, sort of back. So I'm trying to figure out what to do about this audio problem. And as I was saying, here's what I was going to share with you something. And this is maybe glitchy and twitchy because this is our new setup. With me in the corner. Guitars are beautiful, even as decoration. They set an amazing life. Thank you so much. We have about 12 of them. But only 4 are out. And they're all our Les Pauls, which are our best guitars. So this is an article that I wrote on March 19. And what is it now? March 24, so less than a week ago. After 27 years, a wary return to Windows 11. Les Paul is best design quality. I absolutely agree with you, and people who complain about the weight of a Les Paul do not understand the sound and the tone of a Les Paul. They like a Strat because it's thin, and they think sexy. So this was my horror story from March 19, and the horror has never stopped with Windows 11. It's just continuing to haunt me and chase after me. And people that I know and respect say, what are you doing with Windows 11? Why are you doing that? Just use Windows 10. Don't you know that you're supposed to wait 2 years before you install an operating system update from Microsoft? And I say, well, no, I didn't know that. I wrote books about Microsoft stuff 27 years ago. Yeah, funny, right? And ever since then, I've been using Macs. And a Mac just works. It's a big difference when you have a company between software and hardware. Yeah, Windows 11 is buggy, in my experience, yes. And even the beta stuff that they're trying to test and fix and the developer stuff just doesn't work. It's breaking people's machines. And they're leaving the beta because they don't like how buggy and awful it is. So all these people you're supposed to have helping you beta test say, I don't want to do this anymore because it's breaking my machine. Macs are also amazing for musical production. Yeah, Macs are absolutely terrific. If you care about sound. Now, video is very different because Macs have big problems streaming video. They actually tested ads in the File Explorer. Oh, no, don't tell me that. Oh, that's gross. I wonder if Windows Defender blocks their own ads. I think Microsoft has really gone insane in some regards. Well, that's disappointing news, but I understand it. So I was coming from a Mac world where everything is great and audio is terrific, but live streaming, it doesn't live stream well. You really can't crop a window as easily on a Mac as you can on a Windows machine. You cannot play live video in a window on a Mac. Doesn't work. I know. So this was my go-to. The M1s, I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how they would be better because it seems like the philosophy from everything that I've seen, the M1s are good. They're fast and cool to the touch. Is that Apple does not care about streaming a video. They do not care to update it. It's not part of what they do. And the differences are very stark where you can play a video. I can play a video and I will later in a window, in a Chrome window, and it plays beautifully. And you play the same one on a Mac and it's just, you can't watch it and you can't listen to it. It's just awful. It's painful. So that means you can't do a live interview. You can't have anybody visit you because you can't see them. So this is used to be my best friend. USB Pre 2 from Sound Devices. It's glorious. Thank you for understanding. It's very rugged. It's made to go out on scene. And I use this every single day for 17 years. And I've had different ones over the years, but this is what I'm using. That's it, USB Pre 2. And it's wonderful. And I would take that and then I would connect it to my Shure microphone, which is here, which you have seen for 4 months, which we're no longer using, which I'll tell you why later. And my Newman mics, and life was great and grand. It's terrific. And then 2 days ago, something happened with this, and everything changed. And this no longer worked. There was buzz, there was radio frequency interference. I couldn't get any sound out of it. There was some kind of weird compression happening that I didn't have anything to do with. So I thought, well, now what do I do? If I can't use this, I can't use my microphone. And so I emailed them. I said, look, I'm dead in the water. I said, what am I supposed to do? I need this to work under Windows 11. Do you have any updated drivers? Can you tell me what's going on? And they amazingly wrote back in about 4 hours and said, oh, we don't support Windows 11. We don't like it. So this, and I'm just stating a fact, I'm not bragging, is $1,000 if you buy it new right now today. Yeah, I'm sorry too. It's beautiful. It makes such great sound. The lights and everything. And when I got mine, it was $700. So, as you can imagine, meow, price increases. So I did a little bit of research and I learned about the brand Elgato. What brand is it? It's from Sound Devices, SOUNDDEVICES, Sound Devices, and it's a USB Pre 2. I'll show you the website. It's a wonderful website, and it's a wonderful company. They sell a lot of these because it's the best you can get. But the driver that they provide, their updated driver, is dated 2019. Osio is the driver. And when I originally tried to update the driver, and then that didn't work, and I crashed everything, and then that's kind of what made me reinstall Windows 11 for the first time. So this is how it looks. It works just great. It's beautiful, but they're not supporting it under Windows 11. They don't care. They're not interested. We don't want to. So then what do you do? I have a $1,000 brick, is what this is now to me. Yeah, I can still go use it on the Mac if I have to. And they said, well, is this interference you're having? Is it happening only in Windows? Is it happening on the Mac as well? Could you test it for us? No. I'm thinking, what difference does it make? It's not working on a Windows. That's my new production machine. I need it to work on Windows. And it's somehow collecting sounds from radio waves. You can hear radio in the background, and there's no radio on. It's coming through the amplifier. So I use Elgato key lights, which you can see, and I'll turn them off. Now they're off. Oh, can't see me. Maybe this is a better look. And then you turn them on. So that's nice. I love these key lights. We have an Elgato face cam, which is our main camera again. And there's a reason for all of this. And so I'm searching and searching for what can I do to replace this with something else. And because this is an XLR microphone, which means, where are my cables? I might be able to pull this in. Which means it looks like this. This is what an XLR cable looks like. So it's not a USB microphone, it's a serious microphone. Production microphone. Yeah, it is a tough one. So I did a little bit of research, and I found that Elgato has a newish XLR plug-in thing. And this is what that looks like. It's called the Elgato Wave XLR. XLR is that kind of connection that I just showed you. Okay, it's very small, cube-like. Has a wonderful spin wheel that clicks. Nice, yeah. And you plug in your XLR mic here. and your headphones, which is the tiny connection, which I don't really like. Headphones here, and then USB-C out into your computer into a regular USB port. And then you set each one of these. Hey, thank you for following. Like is prep tap. And then you set your microphone volume, and then you set your headphone volume. And then the third one is interesting. It's the mix you hear in your head, which is very confusing if you don't understand it. So you're setting the mix between your microphone and what you're hearing in your headphones. So the mix is, if you have music or some other multimedia playing, and you want to hear yourself over that, you have to change the mix, which is just up and down. And one time I had the mix all the way over, so I could hear the music, but I couldn't hear myself. And it really took me hours to figure out that I had the mix wrong. So once I put it back, like 50% is normal, where you're talking and you hear the music and everything's fine, but sometimes you just want to hear yourself a little bit more. And so that's the mix. So I plugged this in, and my microphone, my Shure SMB7, bang, and my headset, plugged it into the computer. And then I'll tell you what happened next. But right now I gotta take a blood pressure break. And we're testing this change and seeing how this works, because on Monday when we were at this screen, all the animation stopped. Thank you so much. Well, the solution has not been found yet, because that thing I just showed you didn't work. But I'll tell you why in a minute. And this animation, which would make a normal person think, well, if the animation isn't working and you can't see it and it's a problem, don't use it anymore. But that's not who I am. I love to torture myself. I use Windows 11. Be back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles. This is Boles.tv. Usually seen live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. unless something happens, like Windows 11. Our friend is going to be right back, but during the break, posted this very interesting commentary. I don't know if it makes any difference to you. The USB Pre 2 should work out of the box in Linux. But I definitely don't know what the general use case for your PC is. Well, when I saw that, I decided, well, let's go take a look at that USB Pre 2 page we were just on, and oh, what does it say? Mac OS 10 and above. Windows XP, Vista, Windows 7, and Linux. Okay? I don't know how many versions of Windows there have been since Windows 7. But I now understand that even if I had bumped everything back to Windows 10, this would probably not have worked anyway. Because Sound Devices clearly is a Mac shop. First, they say it works on Windows, but does it? The answer is no. Okay, you're back. Thank you. So what, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11? Haven't supported Windows since Windows 7. That actually makes me feel better. Oh my God, it's Gordon, David SQ. Gordon is my best friend from many, many, many years. Still my best friend from many, 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 many years. Gordon and I have conquered the world together, writing together many, many, many times together. They won't let me pin this because he's brand new. But Gordon is here! We started Go Inside magazine together. We wrote on Boles blogs, Urban Semiotic. If there's anything that needed to be written and shared in the world, it was Gordon who got it done. So I can't pin this, so I'll have to read it. I love that they still support Windows XP, but somehow they don't support what you actually have. Maybe the company is enamored with Windows XP. That's a good question. That's an excellent question. Maybe Windows Me, Windows Bob. I hear it works really great. And first of all, I was very shocked that Sound Devices even replied to me, because usually when it's bad news, they don't want to talk to you. Or they'll, reply to you in a week or 10 days. And they replied to me in 4 hours and said, oh no, we don't like Windows 11. $1,000 down the drain. So, I decided to try this. And I actually just had one that was sent to me for review for a while back. I said, well, I wonder if this would work. So I unplugged it, plugged it in, and here's the one great thing that I'm going to say about Elgato. And they do have wonderful products. When you go to their hardware compatibility website, and they have microphones, they have lights, they have a new mini key light, they have these lights that I showed you earlier, they have the face cam we're working on. There's a reason streamers use their stuff, because their stuff works. And everything that they have is Windows 11 compatible. It's the only company I found in 2 weeks who has software that they say on their website is Windows 11 compatible. And everything that you have, these lights, cameras, microphones, all work with software. You have to download the software, install the software. It's not native. It's not like you plug and play and go. It's you plug and play, download the software, tweak it, and then you go. So this little thing, which works great, you click this on the top, it's a mute button, which is fabulous. On my USB 3.2, I'd have to turn it up and down. But this is $156, give or take, today, versus $1,000. So who wins the streamer race? $1,000, $156. And this honestly sounds just as great as this. Windows is like that indeed, yeah. It's a big mess. So I guess the lesson is, you don't have to spend $1,000 to try to get great sound, even though on a Mac it sounds great. You can just sort of get by with $156 and sound just as good on your stream. But the story's not over. So I plugged this in and plugged in my XLR mic and did some streaming tests. And I use Streamlabs, right? Not OBS, which is all what all the smart people use, where they get it for free. Because when I was starting the stream, it was new to me, and Streamlabs.com and their proprietary software, and yes, I know they ripped off OBS, they now call it Streamlabs Desktop instead of OBS, but it's all been worked out. Super easy to use. The things they offer are contained in the software. So if you have a problem, they will help you. And they have helped me a lot over the last 3 days. They have been very, very patient with me and very, very super kind to me. So I plugged in the XLR into Windows 11, and it was sort of working, sort of not working. And there was this weird thing that was happening with the sound. Now, if you use the Elgato wave stuff, and it's a whole thing, it's a whole counterculture. There's this, there's the wave microphone, there's another wave microphone that's more sophisticated than the first microphone, and they're all tied together by software that is Windows 11 compatible. And it does work, called Wave Link. Now, I don't know how sophisticated you are, and I like to think I'm sophisticated, but I'm really not. This is what Wave Link looks like. And if you have any experience with OBS and multi-inputs, this is a simpler, I'm tempted to say stupider, version of Voice Meter. A potato. Bananas, excuse me. There's Voice Meter, there's banana, and there's potato. And this is Voice Meter. And you can see, this is what it looks like. I tried twice to download and install this and make it work. And because I was under a time crunch, I couldn't figure it out. It was too complicated. I printed everything. I followed the instructions. It was too hard. So I thought, why make myself miserable? I'm already miserable enough. Why don't we just go with the software that works with this? So what this is software that becomes your mixer. You have the Wave 3, your microphone, and then you have the system sound, which is the second one here. Oh, every time I move my mouse. Then you have music. So these are all separate things, virtual cables, I guess is technically how you want to talk about it. And they all go in to one thing, which is called the system sound. Then your browser, sound effects, Discord server, if you're chatting on Discord, you can bring that into. And then the idea is, in OBS or Streamlabs, which are really the same thing, one's just easier to use if you don't know anything, you add all of that into one thing called the wavelength stream. And it goes into Streamlabs and you stream. And you have conversation. And if something's too loud, the music's too loud, your microphone needs to be louder, you do it all, manipulation, in WaveLink. Individually, boom, 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 boom. And on Windows 11, when you install the WaveLink software, it takes your breath away a little bit because you suddenly have 25 things that are browser, music, all these audio things, which are virtual cables that are in your sound system for microphone and input. A little overwhelming. And slightly terrifying. So I installed it, and you can listen to your headphones, you can listen to your stream output. And compared to Voicemeeter Banana, this is 100% easier to understand and 100% easier to use. And the trick I learned is, if you're going to set anything up, you set up WaveLink first. You make all your connections. You can click your browser here, and then you go into Windows Sound, and you go to the browser you want to use, and you click on it, and you say, I want this sound to go into Elgato Wave Browser. Slightly complicated, but the Elgato stuff walks you through it. So if you were paying attention and you print out the instructions, it's really very simple. But it's not something that happens very fast. You have to give yourself time to figure it out. So I had all of this ready to go in Streamlabs, my one input mixer, wavelength system, and I began a series of offline tests. And it wasn't working. And so I woke up yesterday at 4 in the morning saying, okay, none of this is working. I don't know what to do. I'm tearing out my hair. I'm going to reinstall. I'm going to do Windows 10. I'm nuking everything I have. And this is a new setup. I have a Dell XPS laptop that's on Windows 11. I have a new Dell XPS desktop, Windows 11. I said I'm going to just wipe everything and go down to Windows 10. And then at 4 o'clock in the morning, I got a little bit smart because I couldn't sleep. And I thought I was going to be broadcasting yesterday at 9 a.m. It didn't happen. I said, let me research that just a little bit about backing down from Windows 11 to Windows 10. And it's not simple. And it depends on your OEM, it depends on your disk partition, it depends on what rights you have. If you ever had, you can downgrade to 10 from 11 if you do it within a 10-day window. After that, then you have to stay with Windows 11. And I'm thinking, oh my God, who invented this? I didn't even think it's possible. And in the commentary thread, somebody said, look, all of that is true, not talking to me, and said, Windows 11 isn't going anywhere. It's here to stay. They're only going to make it incrementally better and better and better and better. So why go back to what you don't do anymore and nobody else is doing it and just stay with Windows 11? And I thought, okay, because the only problem I'm really having with Windows 11 is audio. And every audio person I talk to says that's the big problem with Windows 11, has terrible audio. It's drivers, they don't work. They have to come from the company that is creating the equipment. So I said, okay, 4:30 in the morning, all right. So I was planning on not doing the show at 4 a.m. for 9 a.m. because I was going to be wiping my machine all day. So I thought, okay, well, let me do at 4:30 in the morning a series of audio tests just to see if I could get it working. And so I worked and worked and worked and worked. And I couldn't get it done. So I waited a little bit till like 7 in the morning. And then I went in Discord, Streamlabs, said, hey, remember me? Because I was having video problems before that. And they had me change my video encoder from NVENC new to NVENC standard because your hardware processor can process it. And I made that change and it worked. I wasn't glitching. I wasn't tearing. That was good news. And I said, hey, remember me? I'm having a little audio problem. And they remembered that I was Windows 11, and they're like, we don't really support Windows 11, but we sort of do because we have to, because it's not going anywhere. And the problem I was having was in the stream coming from Wavelink was cutting out. I'd have music playing, I'd have a video playing in the test, and then I would speak into my big XLR microphone. And when I would stop speaking, all the audio would go out. And then I would speak, and the music would come back. Very bizarre. It sounded like there was some kind of compression somewhere. I said, I'm not doing any compression. There's no filter. I've done nothing. This isn't something that I've instituted. And they don't really understand how Windows 11 works. They give me instruction how to fix it, but it's the instructions, the screenshots are for Windows 10, not Windows 11, so I have to translate it. So this is what I spent all of my time doing yesterday. And you can see this for yourself if you like the horror. You can go to boles.live, boles.live, or the username is Boles Blues on YouTube. And you can see, look, these are all of my test videos. Look, that's what I did all day yesterday. Uploading test videos for Streamlabs and Elgato with examples of the audio cutting out. They couldn't figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. Then I did a test with just regular OBS while we were taking a break. It was just like 5 hours. Yes, I went through 3 support people. Hey, I'm going to step out for a little bit. I'm going to hand you over here. Hey, I have to go now. I'm going to hand you over. And I can tell you, my favorite person to work with in Streamlabs on Discord server is Beast SL. He is fantastic. He never gives up. He's very determined. And he really seems to have a very deep understanding of how Streamlabs works. So he knows what's working and what's not working and how to fix it. Generally, he couldn't fix it. I fixed it, but he couldn't fix it. So these are all of my videos that I uploaded. They're like a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Over a couple of days, actually. Published on March 22nd and March 23rd. This was a 2-day affair. The first videos were, I think, about the glitching. The red shirt is glitching. The glitching test. And then the green shirt is the audio problems test. So I wrote to Elgato and went into the Elgato forum on Reddit, which I guess is a support forum, but they didn't answer me yet. So I was really at the end, I thought, well, this is just desperation time because it's not working. I don't know what to do. My Wavelink is working as far as I can see, and using it, it's perfect on my end, but when it goes into Streamlabs or even OBS, when I stop speaking, the sound goes off. So then I tried something that I had tried the day before, and it didn't work, and it locked up my machine, and I tried to restart Streamlabs, and it said there's no Streamlabs running, which is terrifying. So I just restarted the machine, and it all came back. And Streamlabs, as part of all this yesterday, had me reinstall hard Streamlabs, everything from 0. We had to reinstall, bring everything back in. And it worked really well because I worked with them and they said, okay, we're going to put back all your stuff from our server and we're going to restore it. But the restore point is from either March 20 or March 21st. So we're putting both of them in there. You pick which one you want for your scenes. So that was great. And what I did, because I didn't understand, was I took all of those individual things, browser, music, mic, and put them individually into the mixer in Streamlabs desktop. And it locked up my machine. So I said, well, that's not good. That didn't work. So then yesterday, after not getting any sound, I thought, well, maybe I should try this again. And by that time, this was the mistake I made. By that time, I had everything set up working perfectly in Wavelink. I had all my virtual inputs set up and working and tested. I had the video working. I had the audio working, the music, the stream. It was all there. And then I went into Streamlabs. And one by one, I put in each separate thing that was already set up, which I didn't do the first time. Browser, music, microphone, and put them in as individual elements, which is completely the opposite of what Elgato tells you to do. They say, no. The whole point of it is you do all of that in the Wavelink software. You're being ridiculous by putting it in the mixer. And I said, well, I'll be ridiculous because it worked. Now I removed the stream, which is where everything's together, that cable. I removed that out of Streamlabs, deleted it. And then one by one, and you can only add 2 audio sources, and I think 2 or 3 microphones in Streamlabs, which was lucky because I only had 3 things to add. I added the browser, so if I play a video or do an interview, we can hear it. Good. I added music, which runs in a different browser. That was good. But if I wanted to add another audio source, I would not be able to. And then I added the Elgato mic, just by itself, not part of the stream. And it all worked. And I have to individually fine-tune it. So in Elgato Wave, everything is maxed out. And then I have to fine-tune in Streamlabs every little sound to see if I like it or not. Which is supposed to not be what I have to do. But it worked. And the sound was okay, and it was all great. Now, I was using this big microphone as my XLR microphone, which I've used for 23 years. Beautiful sound. But it picks up a lot of background noise. Very hissy, very hummy. I put a filter on it in Streamlabs, and it took it away a little bit, but it was still growling. You know, you speak or you start to speak, and then you stop speaking, and in that little edge as you're finishing a consonant, the filter picks it up and makes it growl. So I didn't like that at all. So I thought, well, what if I just got really daring and actually went with an Elgato microphone? And that sold for like $149. This Shure microphone, SB7, is about $300. So again, and there are 2 microphones that Elgato sells, the Wave 1, which is very plain Jane, and the Wave 3. I guess technically the Wave 2 is this, but they don't call it that, they call it XLR. But when you look at the system settings, this is Wave 2. So the Wave 3 is their microphone that's made for streaming. It kind of blocks background noise. It doesn't pick up when you have the window open. And this is it. This is what it looks like. It's very cute and darling. And it has all these buttons. You see this? These things here. That is the smaller version of this. All of these things that you click on. But it's all done in software, so when you make changes here, on this knob, you can see the headphones, the microphone, the knob. I think it's $149. Maybe it's $200. I don't remember. And this is an optional little plosives screen. Oh, I'm getting choppy again, but not on my end. And then your headphones pop in here. This is the USB-C port that plugs into your computer. And I have an arm coming, one of these, that are made especially for this. Because right now, I have this propped up on my favorite books. Modern Chess Openings. Not for learning, but for holding up new microphones. So this is what I'm using. And so far, so good. The sound is acceptable. We should look this up. Look this up. Let me see. So the sound is acceptable. I was worried that it wouldn't work with wavelength, so I asked in the Reddit group, and another person said, look, the Wave 3, which is what this is made for wavelength more than the XLR. Just unplug the XLR, plug in the Wave 3, the software is going to recognize it, and then just move forward. And I thought, well, that sounds a little too simple. That sounds like easy. But I tried it, and the guy was right. Instantaneously, everything was set up. So I had to rejigger Streamlabs a little bit, redo my inputs, restart the machine, came back, everything just the way it was. And the fact that this little microphone sounds as good as my big microphone while streaming is a human injustice that I'm not quite over. But it's definitely worth the pain of trying to get things figured out. Here we go. I'm old, but I do remember. That was a true adventure. Yeah, it was a true adventure. Oh, look, and you get 10% off if you spend $250. So this is the Elgato Way, right? $149. Shop right now. And just buy it on Amazon. It's the same price. But you probably won't get 10% off. Premium microphone and digital mixing. And the guy on Reddit, who didn't know that I use expensive microphones, said, hey, you're going to love the Wave 3. It sounds really great for what you're trying to do. You're going to be very happy. So you can shop now, 4.7 out of 5, which I agree with. It works. That's it. Very small. I didn't know it came with a stand. The stand is sort of acceptable. But I have some kind of other contraption that goes with it, too, that I like. I'll see if it shows up. Tailored for creators. That's what they call streamers, I guess. Here are the pictures of it in action, the beauty shots, as they say in the industry. There it is, hanging off a boom. There it is, sitting right next to you. There are the key lights, same lights we have here that I showed you earlier that I turned off. So do you need a $400 microphone, a $1,000 microphone? Or do you just need a little Elgato? You can watch a trailer, how it works, brilliant by design. And see, there are classic people there are electronics in this microphone. And there are classic audiophiles who say, oh, I don't want any kind of electronics in my microphone. I want ribbon, I want transistors, but I don't want anything that's, like electronic or digital processing. And to that I say, hey, we're in a Windows 11 world, not Windows 7. Wake up! There we go. There's the multifunction dial, which is the tinier version of this. Do not ever speak to me or my multifunction dial son again. Do you know that Reddit group, Me or My Son? It's very funny. So you can tweak your high input gain, adjust your headphone volume, and crossfade between mic and PC. Now, I did turn one thing off on the microphone because Elgato told me to, and I'm going to look at it and see what it says. It has automatic audio enhancements, and it says if you are a broadcaster or if you're doing voiceover, turn off the low cut filter because it's going to knock the boom out of your voice. So I did that, and I agree with that, but they said do not turn off the clip guard. And the clip guard is when you see these streamers screaming and yelling and they peak their mics. Leave clip guard on. So I did. And so far, so good. So this is the multifunction dial. Multi-layered noise shield. Keep plosives at bay. Plosives are your P words. Premium condenser capsule. Capture verbal nuances with precision. Cardioid polar pattern. Fine-tuned for speech. Okay. See there. Circuitry. Old-timers don't like circuitry in their microphones. They like it in their board, they like it in their mixer, but they don't want it on the phone itself. It's not pure. 24-bit, 96 kilohertz, broadcast grade detail and clarity. For broadcasting live, I agree. Oh, look how cute it is. USB-C Type 3. What did that say? High power headphone output. Now look at this. This is so interesting. You see this right here? Right here. Those are fingerprints. In a beauty shot. I'm slightly insulted because I think that's very sloppy. And it's going to bother me the rest of the day. Capacitive mute. Oh yeah, this is really sweet. Right up here on the top. You can turn off the mute. Which is very convenient. And it turns the light red. Now it's kind of hard to find behind this screen. But I also have a Stream Deck where I can turn myself on and off via Stream Deck too. So that's good. There's the pop filter. The pop filter is not expensive. If you're thinking about this, get one. People don't know how they pop. Dual layer metal mesh on one side, very true, and maximum protection of plosive noise on the other side. So the back side is a metal mesh, and the front side is... Oh, I'm touching it. I thought it was like a cloth, but it's two metal pieces. I like that. The shock mount. It's back there somewhere. This I have, and that I'm putting on the arm if it arrives today. It's a robust metal chassis with reinforced elastic suspension. Isolates the microphone mechanically and transferred noise and impact sold separately. That's worth it too. Not expensive, and it looks pretty well made. The windows are open. I don't know if you can hear the sirens or not, but they're coming for me. Audio noise inside and out. Explore the partnership. So there you go. Get amped without clipping. See, this is what they said. Don't ever turn this off. Now you don't need to watch your levels while you're live or attempt to salvage distorted audio in post-production. When input levels peak, proprietary clip guard technology instantly reroutes sound through a second signal path that runs at a lower volume. That gets us all that electronics that I showed you. Result is clean audio output no matter how loud you scream, and I'm not going to scream at you. Although I might talk a little bit louder just to test it. Now it was peaking here, but I don't know if it was peaking with you. Oh, there's the wavelength. The Creator's Mixer. Yeah, there it is. Multi-channel command. Game audio, voice chat, music, alerts, samples, multiple microphones, and more. It wasn't that bad. Good. 9 independent input channels. Oh, so they limit you to 9. I didn't know. 9 is plenty. I'm using 4. Microphone, system, which we're not really using, but it's like the computer. Anything else that goes on the computer comes in here. Like an alert. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Oh, I just hit the wrong button, I think. I just stopped everything. I think I stopped the music. There we go. I thought I broke it. So you can blend all your sources in real time. Multiple wave mics are not supported at this time. That's interesting, and it's nice they tell you right there. So if we wanted this and a 1 or another 3, won't work. But I could plug this in. My XLR mic, I bet. And bring that in on a separate channel. That would work. Not interested right now. And these things down here that you see, whoops, these things. Yeah, well, it's not letting me do it, but you can add filters if you want to. And then you do it individually, and then it brings it into the stream. And you got thousands of effects. I'm not using any effects. Effects on, effects off. All kinds of interesting vocal sounds, home corruptor. So it's like if you have, pedals on your guitar. You just add it. And you can add it individually, and then it'll be put into your stream and then go into your stream. So that is the story of what has happened so far. We are still fighting Windows 11. We at least now have a little bit of sound. And you can hear us. And I have more to tell you, but right now, I got to take a very brief blood pressure break. I'll be back in a moment. And we are back from break. I'm David Boles, and this is Boles.tv, BOLES.TV, here Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Jana Marie is here with you on the weekends at 11 a.m., teaching you some American Sign Language and discussing current events and sharing fun facts. And her stream is totally in American Sign Language and typed text. So if you don't know ASL, that's okay. You can come and join in all the fun anyway. So while we're on break, I see that my friend is in Greece. I will need to find a shop selling this. I missed that as we were having our conversation. So that's very interesting. Greece is such a lovely, beautiful place, full of history and wonder. It's a great place to be. It's wonderful. And I hope you can find it, because I can tell you right now, I have not been paid by Elgato. I don't have anything to do with Elgato. But as far as my streaming life goes, I'm giving them all my money. Everything they have works. You plug it in, and it works. I have a Stream Deck. I've talked about that before on this live stream many times. Stream Deck. Yeah, this. Where you punch things. I don't know if I can show it to you. No, it's not cooperating. It has a very small cord, but also a long cord. Yeah. So it allows you to, like this, if I click this Slobs button, which is Streamlabs OBS, it takes me to a page. Where I can change the scene just by touching a button. Touching another button. Touching another button. So you can look really slick, you know? Just by touching a button. Where's my main screen? And you can put sounds on it. So if you hear people changing their voice... Uh-oh, that's not the right one. So if you hear people changing their voice, or... maybe I didn't do it right. If you hear people changing their voice or playing sounds... I had this all set up, but then when you reinstall Windows, you have to reinstall all your Stream Deck stuff. So that's not fun. And when Janet does her show, I have her buttons. So she just clicks a button. This has a little time thing on it. There's also a weather button. As I was telling you before, this is my microphone button. La 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 la. And it supports Twitch. It supports Streamlabs, Streamlabs OBS. It sits on its own little kind of stand here. It turns my lights on and off. It's very slick. And you can use it, it has to be for streaming. You can use it as your everyday life. It's part of your professional life, is trying to figure out how to work things. So it works very well. I highly recommend all things Elgato. I think I have almost everything that they put out. I don't think they actually make headphones, but I would buy them if they had them. We have the lights, we have mini lights coming, we have the camera, we have microphone, we have the Stream Deck. And we have this XLR thing that we're not using now, but we'll move this over to our Mac machine and use this for our microphone input, because this is no longer working. But maybe they'll replace it. I don't know. Something happened. Beyond the software problem, it's picking up RF interference somehow. So just to kind of top off this conversation about this horrible experience we had trying to get audio back into this live stream so it could be with you, is the 2 days, probably 15 hours over 2 days I spent on Discord with Streamlabs support. Probably about 3 people each day, different people. And they were just wonderful. And people say, well, why would you pay for Streamlabs? Well, I pay because if I need help, I know where to go to get it, and they will help me. And yes, OBS has a very rich community, and they're on Reddit, and they have their own forum, but those are volunteers. helping each other, sure. But sometimes when you're under a time crunch and you need something to get fixed, you just got to go to the right person. And they can fix it for you. And they don't run you around doing, oh, do this, reinstall that. Don't do that. They just give you the answer. And in the end, it turned out not to be a Streamlabs problem. I don't think it even turned out to be a Windows 11 problem. The audio ducking thing where I would speak and the sound would go off when I wasn't speaking is an Elgato problem. So maybe they'll fix it, and maybe they won't. I have no idea. So now, as we're coming to our next topic of conversation, as you know, we often talk about crypto and Ethereum and NFTs. Let's see what's going on with the market. Oh boy, look at that. Ethereum is doing fantastic. They're at above 3,000. Now, for 2 weeks since we've been talking about this, they have not been above 3,000. They've been as low as 2,500. And they're sort of trending down now. Earlier in the day, which I learned, the day begins at 7 p.m. my time. They were at 3,068. And I also have Bitcoin in there too because I like to see how they travel together. And they do pretty much, they travel together. And Bitcoin's doing great too, 42,000, almost 43. That's above their high. Now what's going on with the gas fees with Ethereum? And if you know anything about Ethereum, oh boy, you know the gas fees are big. Terrible. So you go buy a piece of NFT art and it's $100, let's say. And you have $100 in your wallet and say, hey, I can get this. No tax yet. You will next year. But there's a thing called a gas fee, which is the transfer fee of ownership from one person to another. And right now, the gas fee is high at $33. So if you're buying something for $100, for you to get it in your wallet is going to cost you $33. Now, I've seen it as low as $8, and last week, it was $125 during this live broadcast as a gas fee. So can you imagine, you're going to buy something for $100, you check out, and your wallet says, by the way, your gas fee is $125. Now, when that happens, just stop. Back out of the sale, and just wait 5 minutes. Wait 1 minute. And see, because the gas fee will go down. I've never seen it that high for that long. And there's a new thing coming called Ethereum 2, which is a whole new thing. So there's Ethereum 1, which has these high gas fees. Ethereum 2 is supposed to be very cheap gas fees that are pennies. And I believe it's called the Consolidated Blockchain or something like that. Here we go. Nearly $6 billion in Ethereum. Ethereum 1 burned as Ethereum 2 edges closer. Now, when you burn something, that's usually a terrible thing. Like an NFT, if an artist creates 1,000 NFTs of one thing, which you kind of want to stay away from. Don't go for the big volume NFTs. Go for the one-of-ones if you can afford them, and find young, interesting new artists. There's Gordon! Yeah, that's kind of analogous to a vegan protein was advertising itself on Facebook. Free sample! You go out and it says $20 for shipping. How are they shipping at Pony Express? Exactly. Now that's very interesting. Now, people ask, why are you reading the chat out loud? And I'll tell you why. Because this live stream is closed captioned. So if you're deaf, hard of hearing, or you're learning English, you can click a button and captions will show up. Now the captions are not always perfect, but nothing in life is perfect, but they're pretty accurate. When you have a person who is watching this stream with captions on, they cannot also see the chat. So it makes it difficult for deaf and hard of hearing people to participate in the chat as a viewer because they have to turn off the closed captions, go into chat, say what they want to say, see if anybody responds, and then go back to the captions. However, if you read what's being said in chat, then it gets captioned. And with our new microphone and everything is captioning great. Now, unfortunately, we can only, with Streamlabs, because they don't support WebSockets like OBS does, we can only get captions on my microphone on the live stream. Gordon also says, my 7-year-old daughter always watches everything with captions on. I think she enjoys the experience of reading while listening. Absolutely right. A lot of children learn how to speak English by looking at captions. And we always have captions on here because Jana's deaf, and it's interesting how the captions are sometimes really great and really interesting and really awful. Now, when we watch Squid Game together, I made the mistake of not getting the... I wanted the Korean version with the English translation. And I couldn't figure out how to do it on Netflix. I didn't really know it was a thing until we were in the middle of it. And so I was hearing these terrible American voice actors voicing the characters in Squid Game, while Jana had what I call elite and exclusive captions that were really different than what was actually being said. Her captions, which I believe are the original translation, were very vulgar and coarse. The voiced over for the American culture, the American audience, was kind of polished down a little bit. So I wish we had those original captions, leave the Korean speech there, and just open caption it. And I believe that's what she was seeing, the open captions. They were translated, but they made them closed captions in America. Yes, the people who get older and they can't hear the TV, you turn on the captions, it's wonderful. It's really a great thing. And that's one thing that a lot of these young companies have is their shipping charges. There's a wonderful vegan company, well, at least they have vegan ramen, called Vite Ramen, Vitaramen. And they're a bunch of kids who got together and said, hey, we don't like the current ramen. We want to make a super healthy kind of ramen that's a meal replacement. Fabulous. And they've been around for 2-3 years, and a couple of people have left, and they're trying to make it work, and they're coming back and getting things done. And they always had a problem with shipping, where you'd buy something, a 9-pack that was, let's say, $30 maybe, and then the shipping was $30. And they'd say, what can we do? That's the shipping. And the rest of us would say, right. All these other companies offer free shipping. That's a big, really important thing. People don't find value in paying a shipping charge. What can we do? That's what it costs us to $30 to send it from San Francisco to New York. And we would try to say, look, raise the price of your ramen. I know you want it to look cheap, but the value is in what you're selling us and in the eating. We'll pay $45, $50 for the ramen if you can reduce the shipping. So I think they finally, after 3 years, did that. And I think their shipping is the flat rate of $6, which is acceptable. It's not free. Free makes it very attractive. But they raised the price on their ramen. So they finally got a hold of it. But boy, it took them a long time. And I bet they lost a lot of sales. For people who are excited, they get there, and then as you're checking out, you get hit with the shipping charge. And it's not even expedited shipping. And they ship very slow, like from, I don't know what they're using. If it's bulk shipping, it's very expensive. But from San Francisco to New York, it would take 10 days. Very weird. So Ethereum is burning. Now, NFT creators... Oh, there's Gordon again. Could you say a name of the company? I love vegan ramen. Oh, yeah, it's white miso. Oh, you'll love it. We eat it all the time. I'm looking at the website. And they're kids. They're who decide we want a better ramen. So you're supporting them. VITERAMEN. Shop Nutrition. Asian-owned small business made in the USA with living wages. Yeah, they're terrific. And they're super responsive. I think they have a Reddit subreddit. And or maybe they're in the Soylent subreddit, which has kind of become the vegan place to go, which is not just about Soylent. And the noodles are made out of quinoa, wheat, corn fiber, kansui. And they've made lots of changes over the years. They're always fixing it and improving it. And their vegan one is it's the white miso, I believe. And they have nutritional boosts. And if you ask them a question, they answer, actually, which is very nice. And you can see their prices are a little high. They're on sale. But believe me, it's better to pay a high price for a delicious noodle than high price to UPS. You can also, naked nudes is their new thing, where you can just buy the noodles and then you add your own stuff to it if you don't want their seasoning and their flavoring. I'm trying to see where their packs are. Nutrition, discounts, subscription. There's Gordon, whoa, I never heard anyone pronounce quinoa like that. And my mother pronounces it in her own wild way, quinoa. 3 whole syllables. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, it's quinoa. Send nudes. 3 minutes for a complete meal. And when I make it, I have 1 pack. Janet has the other pack. So we just eat it and eat it and eat it and eat it. This is the one. Vegan white miso. $49 for a 9-pack. And somebody does the math. So that's like, what? $10 a pack. And you can pay in interest-free installments if you like. Pay with GPay. Vegan white miso, version 3. They've had version 1, version 2, version 3. We've been with them through all their versions. Now, people look at this and they're going to say, oh my God, calories, $500. $500 for a thing of miso. Well, it's a lot of noodles. And it's a meal replacement. It's different. A little bottle of Soylent is 400 calories. What? 400? It's a meal replacement. It's not a protein shake. Protein shakes are 200 calories. A meal replacement, which is what you want if you're trying to lose weight. If you're trying to just cut down on expenses, you can have a whole meal in Soylent for $3. Now, just remember, the shipping tends to be a little slow. But they're very responsive and they're apologetic. So they're not going to take your money and run. That I guarantee you. And I honestly am thrilled that they're still in business, because for a while there, they were not sure if they would be able to remain in business. Because like I said, they're just a group of friends that I think one had to leave because they were burned out and they didn't know how to replace the person. But that was like a year and a half ago. So they're still here. They're ready to go. Full of nutrients. So we were talking about burning things. And if you're an NFT artist and you have, 1,000 of something and it's not selling, let's say you've sold 100 and you have 1,000 left and it's been a year and a half. And the floor price for that piece of artwork is very low because no one's buying on the secondary market. So what do you do now? Well, there are artists, and some of them are good, like Sabet. They will take the unsold 900 and burn them, send them to a dead Ethereum address, meaning the collection went from 1,000 pieces to 100 pieces. And then everybody who bought, there are now, instead of being one of 1,000, you're now one of 100, and the price will inherently go up. So a burn in Ethereum in that situation is a bad thing. But a burn of Ethereum in this case is good because you're getting rid of the old Ethereum and replacing it with Ethereum 2. So it's more like a swap than a burn. You're swapping from one to the other. But you can't have both because then you're doubling the amount of money and lessening the overall value of it. So as things are purchased and as things are spent and used, they burn it on the 1.0 blockchain and reestablish it on the 2.0 blockchain. So Ethereum's burn mechanism is hotter than ever, as crypto's second largest network has officially destroyed over 2 million Ethereum since the mechanism was introduced last August. According to Watch the Burn, a dashboard monitoring the burn mechanism, the network has destroyed a total of 2 million Ethereum since its inception. In dollar terms, that's more than $5.82 billion removed from circulation forever. And here's that burn site. And it's really fascinating to watch. Watch the burn. And it shows you over time what's new and what's old and what's getting out. And you want all of the bad stuff to be burned. It's on the first blockchain, and you want everything on the second blockchain to be used and saved and spent, because then the gas fees go down to pennies, because it's a whole different sort of network. So here are the interesting things going on with burning. Now here's my OpenSea account, one of the places that displays my current NFTs, and I find it quite lovely. Now here's what I want to show you. This is the newest one, and this was a gift from Sabet, who is a wonderful NFT artist, for everyone who owns this, which is his activated ape. And this is his actual Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT, the ape part of it, that he then takes and makes his own artwork out of the original underlying artwork. And this is before the IP was released, where now everybody can do that with their ape. But this is before that, but he's Sabet, so he can kind of do what he wants to do because he's very famous. And he said, yeah, I do this. I play with the ape that I bought, and they've never said a word to me. They just let me go, which is terrific. However, it wasn't selling very well, this. And I think it was maybe an edition of 50, and maybe like 30 had sold, and he's trying to get his floor price up because they're going to Coinbase. Adding Coinbase is going to have an NFT market, which is going to be great because you can use a credit card to buy NFT artwork on Coinbase. You don't have to worry about wallets or Ethereum or gas fees. You just use your credit card and have it. It's going to be big. It's going to be very, very convenient. So Sabet did an interesting thing. He did not burn the leftover activated apes. What he did instead is he went onto his Discord server and said, hey, this was earlier this week, if I can sell out of this activated ape over the next 48 hours, so it was maybe like 30 sales, 26 sales, everybody will get a free airdrop. And everybody's like, a free Sabet? Now that could be worth $400 right there. Most of his stuff, if you're on the white list, sells for $400, $500, $800, $700. So that's big. Airdrop means you get it for free. And a lot of artists do that, some don't, and some do. So instead of burning the rest of these apes, he said, okay, if I sell out of these apes, I will airdrop it. And when you airdrop, the receiver, you don't pay any gas fees. It just appears in your account. And so this morning at 5 a.m., I arrive to check my OpenSea account, and there it is. This is Ocean Eyes 2022 from Sabet. And this is his free airdrop to all the holders of the activated ape. Now, some might say, well, the reason he's giving this away is she didn't sell either. And it has been a little bit of a problem the last 2 or 3 weeks where Sabet, every week has 2 or 3 new things that he's selling. And it's wonderful. He's very prolific. But a lot of the people who follow him and who collect him regularly, who are not spending $50,000 for his artwork, can't spend $800 3 times a week to buy the next new thing. So you really have to pick and choose. Okay, do I want that? Do I like the women? Because he does a lot of women with this, with the eyelashes. That's his thing. That's not my thing. That's his thing. I would not choose this as my free airdrop. But it was free, so I'll take it. It's Sabet. And then you have value in that when it's given to you for free, and you can turn around and resell it if you want to on the secondary market. Or you can just hang on to it and see what happens. But I don't care if she didn't sell. I'm very happy to have her for free from Sabet. And here's the rest of my collection. Ian Jones. I love Ian Jones. This is his new octopus, which I think is just delightful. Party horses, which are sort of related to the Kentucky Derby in some ways. Here's the other brand new Ian Jones. The Eyes of Hell. The eyes of hell are upon you. The eyes of Laura Mars, which I find just terrific. Interesting. Ukraine stuff. Here's a Sabet Ukraine stuff. Wes Henry, fabulous artist. You get on his white list, where you can go and buy before the rest of the public. He's an $800 pie. This is another Wes Henry, and if you know anything about Wes Henry, you know that he's very dark and very scary. And then he saw these 3 birds outside his window playing in the rain. And he painted this. It's beautiful. That's on my Facebook page. Another Ian Jones. A Pixel Pop from Sabet. The first Ethereum for sales NFTs that he ever did was Pixel Pop. Tokyo Punks, again from Sabet. This, I don't know what it is, but I find it fascinating. This one is animated, which might be a little hard to see, but we'll see. See, it's moving. That's very interesting. It's light painting. Obey, more Ian Jones, Crypto Mores. Got into a big fight with Sabet over a DMCA takedown. Nobody won, everybody lost, but I understand 100% why Sabet had to do it. It's called Protecting Your Intellectual Property. And now we're getting, here's the Pixel Pop, which I really love. Now, Sabet went after Crypto Mores for copying his work. And this is Pixel Pop from Sabet. Now, is he copying R2-D2 here from Star Wars? But you have to protect your intellectual work. These are Ugly Kitties from Sabet. This is Baby Yoda Kitty. Now, is that copying intellectual property that belongs to Star Wars? Cat on the Bike, the Screaming Mike Cat, which I love, which is the avatar for this channel. And this is some kid, Pyramid Eyes, made this, animated. I think it's very interesting, different, looks at you. And there's my new background, which is my new Ian Jones piece. So there you go. Hey, what a show today. And we only vented for about 2 hours. I didn't get to anything that I was really going to get to, but this is sort of a test stream. So if we blew up, we were going to blow up, and it would just be awful. I guess I should run a little bit of a video here. Let me see if I can find a YouTube video to play. Oh, I should go to my YouTube channel. If it's still there, maybe I got rid of it. Oops. Did I break this? Testing 1, 2, 3. Okay. Mona Lisa Twins. If you look at my videos of my test, I play a lot of Mona Lisa Twins. How to get the best sound quality for your Elgato. Where's my channel? Because this is supposed to be part of my test. Oh, you're not even seeing what I'm looking at. Where is my channel? YouTube Studio is sort of what I want. Streamlabs and Elgato. Okay, let's see here. Now, I think I do play a little bit of Little Lazy Twins here. Okay, so I'll show you this. And we're looking at this not necessarily because we're enjoying it. We're looking at this because it's necessary to see if I have everything set up right. Hello, this is David Boles on Boles.tv. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Eastern. And we are now doing a new test where we have individually added each of the wavelength pieces. And we are no longer using the main stream mix channel. I'm going to speak, and we're going to see if the music continues to play beneath me. It looks good so far. And the reason Elgato says don't do this is because you have to keep an eye on every single thing that you have in your stream. And I say, so what? My God, if it works. So now I'm going to turn off that music. Still playing in my headphones, but it is not playing in Streamlabs. So I have to turn it off myself. Okay, so now in my mind, it's off. And now we are going to go to YouTube and play a little bit of a song there, and we're going to see what happens when I stop speaking, if we can hear the Mona Lisa twins continue to sing, or if I am going to be speaking over them. Well, it looks good so far. I might need to raise the volume a little bit because it's a little bit soft. And this is a performance, and it's the Mona Lisa twins, so let's don't cheat them out of their moment of glory. And maybe I'm completely talking over myself because the Mona Lisa twins are too loud. I can't tell because I have the mix in my ears from the wavelength and not from what's actually being streamed. But this is the test. I'm going to have to stop the twins so I can see if me stopping to speak stops them. It looks remarkably good to me, but who knows? What do I know? Thank you so much for being here. There's a little bit of a background hiss, but I guess I can live with that. And I guess I could put a filter on that because this is no longer the stream. Because when you stream everything from wavelength, if you put any kind of filter anywhere there, everything gets filtered. But if I'm in Streamlabs OBS and I put a filter maybe here locally on my mic, I might get some of that buzz out. I don't know. We'll see. But if this works, this is usable. But we don't know until we see. Thank you. Looks pretty good. I think it worked. So that is very interesting. So far, so good. That was the old microphone. It sounds good, though. So it would have been acceptable if we stuck with it, I think. Well, this has been a wonderful show. I'm so glad you've been here with me. New followers. Gordon is here. Our new friend in Greece, Cosmic Cushy. Talked about a lot of interesting things. Got a lot of interesting things out. If you have any thoughts or comments, you can email me, david@boles.tv. If you have a question for Jana Marie, you can email her, jana@boles.tv. On Twitch, super follow, now available. We are David Boles, @DavidBoles. On Facebook, we're regular old Boles. On Instagram, we are Boles Books. On, what is it? Oh, TikTok, we are Boles TV. And Boles.live, BOLES.live, is our video on demand. On YouTube, where you can watch all these videos, closed captions. On Twitch, you can watch our video on demand. There will not not, I don't believe, be ads if you are subscribed, and the chat is preserved on the Twitch video on demand. You can also reach us on our Discord server. If you want to get together and say hello there, it's a new server, and we're working to expand it and find interesting things. So until tomorrow, at 9 a.m., I wish you a great day, a wonderful nap, and I hope you have a great evening. And may you wake up and always be filled with joy in your soul. Thank you for being here. I'll talk to you soon. I'll see you tomorrow.